Hey everybody, welcome to our first lesson on visual measurement. There's going to be 3 lessons on this, so throughout October we're going to be learning about visual measurement. Today we're doing the perceptual grid. You will need a sight tool for all of our visual measurement techniques we're going to learn. This is super important. You can use anything. You can use a ruler. Make sure it's an unsharpened pencil if you're using a pencil. Try not to use a pen unless it's very streamlined like this. The other super important thing that you need to remember all the time is to keep your arms straight, like lock your elbow when you're doing this. Don't move around and bend your arm like that, because that changes the perspective from being straight out to different angles. So always make sure your arm is straight when you're using your sighting tool. So today we're doing the perceptual grid. That's our first visual measurement technique. I've got my newsprint, my charcoal, my sighting stick, and my still life. Okay, so we're going to begin our drawing by doing gesture. This is how you start your drawing every single time. So moving forward, every drawing you do, start with gesture. Okay, so I have my gesture. Now what I'm going to start doing is adding contour into my drawing. Now what we're going to do, we have our gesture done, we have our basic contour. What we're doing now is we're using our visual measurement to look exactly where everything is and make sure everything is in the right spot. We're going to do this with a grid. Now, when you're doing this grid, keep in mind that it's not exactly the same size grid pieces, okay? Everything is going to be a little different. So what I can do is start by drawing a line down my page on the farthest edge of this object. So I've got this duct tape roll, and this would be the farthest edge of that object. I can then move in and I could draw a line down here. This line here goes down this side of the box. So what do you do with this tool? What you do with this tool is line it up down that side of the box for your still life. Remember to keep your arms straight. So when I line up my sighting tool down that right side of the box, I can actually see that there are other pieces in this still life that hit there. For example, this part here on the top of that spray bottle actually hits this line. So what does that mean? It means that I need to redraw this closer to this line, because in the still life, these are next to each other. I have moved this edge from here over to here, okay? I want you guys to do similar things like this in your drawings. Do not erase. The biggest thing I want to see when you guys are drawing is that you're revising as you go. So you drew something, you realized it was in the wrong spot, and you drew it again, okay? That's super important. So we can keep going through our still life by putting more of these vertical lines in. And I also want you guys to remember to go sideways too and do your horizontal lines. So if I was going to use the top of this and draw a line, try to make your lines as straight as possible when you do them. Don't use a ruler though. Really try to do this on your own. Okay, so I've got a line going along the top of my duct tape now. I can see when I use my sighting stick on my work that having that horizontal along the top means 1, 2, 3, 4. This is actually the fourth one, so there's one taller. That one is an easy fix. However, my bottle here needs to be changed yet again because this is way too short. It actually exists up much farther. Let's draw a line along the top of this. And I can see when I use my sighting stick, this is a little taller. So in effect, this bottle is being drawn like 3 different times. Now I had to move this thing multiple times. Again, this is totally fine. If you do something like this, that's fine. When you are drawing though, try to do your first contour lines really light so that when you do start moving things around, it doesn't look so messy like this. So try to work really light when you first start. Also, keep in mind that these grids are not always going to be the same size. So if we drew like a line along the bottom of this, we could help line that up with other things, and you can see like this box is much smaller than this box. Go through your drawing like that. So all these nice edges, this edge of this box here, if I drew a line up from there, good. So when I draw this line up here, I notice that the nozzle does not go across it. So this needs to be moved into this area. Okay, so go through your entire drawing, draw lines up and down and horizontally throughout the entire thing so you can figure out where things go. A great way to do this too is to start at the very bottom, draw a line along the thing that is closest to you. This is a great way to figure out depth. So if this thing is closest to me and I'm holding this horizontally, the next one would be this corner. And I can see that this corner and this corner are different. So I would need to move this back more and redraw this portion here so that this one would be on its own grid line. And this looks to be on the same level as this one. So the bottom of my duct tape, which it almost is resting on there, so that's good. Okay, so continue working out where things go in your still life. Please do not be afraid to do something ugly like this and redraw things. The act, like I said, of revising things when you notice that they're in the wrong spot is super important. Throughout all of our visual measurement, I want you guys to be revising things, and I want to see proof that you moved things around, okay? Try to work lighter than I did so that it doesn't get so messy. But moving forward, I want you guys to start practicing our visual measurement grid.